week 1 down, just doing a quick little wrap up of Kona's first week, things that we've been working on, and I kind of use this first video as a little bit of homework, if you will, for the weekend. So our main focus this week was establishing a marker system. So a marker is going to be a word or sound that marks a specific moment in time that I like something that she did. And for her, that's going to announce the arrival of food. So this week was spent creating that association between the two. So that way I can kind of bridge the gap between desired behavior and reinforcement so that we're not accidentally reinforcing what happens possibly in between those two things. So there's a couple different markers. We have yes, good, okay, and no, which that's going to be more of like a verbal correction. Not doing too much of that one right now. The reward markers though, yes, good, and okay, those are all going to, for right now, announce the arrival of food. But they each have different meanings as far as expectation within behavior. So yes is going to be the one that I am pushing right now. That's the main one I'm using to shape new behaviors and to create engagement and play and things like that. So yes means I like what you did. Come take something from me. So she doesn't have to do anything past the behavior. So if I say, Kona, yes, and she responds, yes means come take something from me. If I say yes and she does not come to me to take food, I'm not going to chase her down and try to give her anything. In fact, I want to move in the opposite direction. I want to create a little bit of, I want to increase the value of the reinforcement by tapping into her natural prey drive. So I'm going to make it a little bit harder to get, yes, just to kind of make it more fun. Oh, girl. So that'll add value to the reinforcement by making it fun and playful, and I want to incorporate play, so I can even do things like, Kona, yes, push her around a little, ooh, let her come to get it, and then have her miss it, ooh. But she's not 100% comfortable with me yet to do too much play. That's what I've really been pushing to increase with her, because I know that seeing her with you in the afternoons when you pick her up, she's a very playful dog and she likes to do all that silly stuff. So I want to use that to my advantage, and I just have to work on building a better relationship with her, and making it a point to be very clear with reward placement, meaning she knows where it is and how to take it. Yes. So I'll say yes and then allow her to take the food. And I'm going to keep my hand very visible, even if she misses it. Yes, good girl. I'm just moving it out of her direct path, but back into a different path where she can follow my hand. For instance, when we are doing our healing exercises, I'm keeping my hand right there so that my hand is always in the same spot and I'm just putting food. I think that's not something I super focus on with a lot of dogs, but she has a little bit of trust issues. So I really feel like having things super just continuous and very reliable is going to help her with her confidence with me and trust me and want to do things with me, and then I'll really be able to tap into that play. So, excuse me, at home, I really want to push establishing that yes marker with you. It's going to work in your favor as far as building engagement. So start out in a pretty neutral environment. So right now we're just in the training room. We'll do things here and there out in front of the main building. But I want to set her up for success where she doesn't have a lot of competing motivators. The most she has here is the guys next door. They're right outside the door, so she looks at them. But every time she pays attention to me, yes, I can create that yes marker. I can even do things like yes, keep the reinforcement happening. So again, she knows where it's going to be. This hand doesn't typically move. It's just me putting more treats back into that view. So if she looks at me, I'm going to pay that and say yes and pay that. If I say her name and she looks at me or moves towards me, I'm going to reward that moment. So it's going to put value in her caring about where you are and paying attention to you. in a constructive way, not just her slamming into you and things like that. Yeah, good girl. So I'm just getting her used to me touching her and things like that. Yeah. But when I touch her, I run away from her. I want her to be silly and chase after me. When I first started working with her, she really didn't want to take food out of my hand, but just kind of, yes, toss food out on the ground for her, yes, and let her chase it that way. But she's a shepherd. I know she has that silly play drive in there somewhere. Sit. Good. So good is going to be our duration marker, meaning when she goes into behavior that I want. Good. Presents food, I'm going to bring the food to her. Good. And I can use this to build longer and longer duration. Good. While she's still in behavior, and then okay, means she is able to come out of the behavior. Eventually those ones won't need to be continuously followed through with reinforcement, especially the okay. The okay is going to be something that's more of a neutral release, meaning you're done with that behavior, you can go do what you want. But I want to create an association within marker and presentation of reward. So nothing super exciting just yet. We're just starting to kind of play around with positionings and keeping her in behavior and things like that, but I wanted to really focus on building a relationship and getting playful with her first. I feel like maybe it's not seemingly that big of a deal, but I think in the long run it's going to be much more lucrative to have that and make training much easier. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or call or whatever, and I will be happy to answer those. Right, girlfriend?
Yeah.